Welcome Year 11 to another exam paper walkthrough. This time it is your paper 2, your human geography paper. There is a paper 1 video available, which is your physical geography paper, and there will be a paper 3 video available, which will be your pre-release and fieldwork paper that you'll be going through. This one's slightly different in the sections that you need to answer, but this is what I'm going to go through now. You are going to sit this paper on the Friday, the 6th of June, so slightly later than this one here, Friday, the 6th of June. So what does a paper 2 look like? Well, your first section, this section you will be answering is urban issues and challenges. So this is London and Rio de Janeiro. Again, similar to paper 1, they're starting off with a figure and some skills questions here. So many people miss out these skills papers, and you will know if you were one of those people that did it in the mock. It is so important that you read every single word on this page. If they have given you some data, chances are they have only given you part of that data set and they want you to complete it. 2 easy marks here, completing the pie chart using this data, but yet so many people miss it out and throw those 2 marks away. It doesn't sound like much, but it could be the difference between your 4 and your 5, your 6 and your 7, your 8 and your 9, for example. So you really need to make sure that you are answering all questions, and you can only do that if you read the entire paper for your sections. Moving on, again, lower tariff marks here. Please make sure that you are reading the questions properly. Give 2 push factors that encourage people to leave rural areas in LIC/NEEs. As soon as I see that, I know that I need to speak about Rio. Same down here. This is why we bug our questions, and what I'd be doing is highlighting that and making a little note to myself, Rio de Janeiro. So many of you here in your mock spoke about London. Unfortunately, although you had correct knowledge, it wasn't for the correct question, so it didn't matter. Throwing marks away. Here we've been given a figure to help us with our 6-mark question. Now, if I just rewrite out that figure, I will get 0 marks. But what I do need to do is pick out pieces of information for that figure and put it into a peeled paragraph. So I'm then going to make my point. So something from the figure, I'm going to explain it, and then I'm going to use my this means that as a result of that phrases to help explain it, okay? And for this one, to what extent is it a challenge? So I need to make sure that I am addressing that part of the question. And the way that I need to do that, well, I need to bug my question and make sure that I am answering all those different components. Then says use figure 2 and your own understanding. So you need to make sure that you're doing both. If you just focus on figure 2 or you just focus on your own understanding, then you will be capped at level 2. So make sure that you are using both. Moving through, some more skills, 1 markers, multiple choice here, 2 markers. Before it introduces me to my 4 marker, again using figure 5, it's going to prompt you in there. So suggest how urban greening can create opportunities. If you can't quite remember what urban greening is, look at these 2 pictures. What do you think has changed? We can see that we've got lots of vegetation in this picture, and it would make sense. Vegetation, green, urban greening. Okay, and then I can start to talk about why that might be an opportunity. Then my first 9 marker of the paper, again you will notice that it's got 3 spag marks, so we need to make sure that we're using our capital letters, our full stops, and to get into those higher spag marks, the 3 out of 3, using geographical vocabulary throughout. I'm going to need 3 peeled paragraphs where I am constantly linking back to the question. So here, energy conservation and water conservation, making cities more sustainable. So in each paragraph, I need to be addressing how what I have just written is going to make cities more sustainable. I need to do that 3 times with a conclusion at the end. Section 2, change in economic world. This is the last section that you will be studying with us, so you will be answering this section. The content at the moment won't make the most sense, but you will see that similar 2 marks using those figures, multiple choice, completing the data. Really easy there, just to think that that bar chart is completed. It is not. Complete figure 8. 2 easy marks, just don't miss them out. 6 marker, again. Skills, 4 marker. Nice 3 marker before we come to a 9 marker. And this is the last 9 marker of our paper 2, using a figure to help us answer that. Doesn't have the SPAG marks here, but we are going to make sure that we are practicing SPAG throughout. And we are, of course, going to make sure that we're using geographical vocabulary out throughout to help us access those higher levels in your level 3s, not just for the SPAG marks. We then get to question 3, and again we do answer this question. Question 3, similar layout, shorter marks now, so only 15 in this section, a couple of 1-2 markers, a 6 marker, 11 marks in this section, so much shorter. And this is general resources. Now this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because I'm going to miss out question 4. We have not studied food in detail, and you will see it says answer either question 4, food, question 5, water, or question 6, energy. An alarm bell should now be ringing that you are answering question 5. So out of 4, 5, and 6, you are only answering question 5. So we're going to completely miss out this section. Don't need to do anything with it. And we're going to get to question 5, where it focuses on water. Again, 2 marks for completing the data. So many of you miss this out in your marks. Please do not do this in the real thing. Then a further 1 mark to be that uses the figure again. Skills question, no geography knowledge is needed there, just your skills. 3 easy marks. A 2 marker, a 3 marker. The 2 marker links again to the graph. If we're describing, we're saying what we see, nice and easy there, using that data, following that T structure that you do in lesson. The 3 marker before you come to the 6 marker at the end. Okay, then you will notice it says if you have answered question 5, do not answer question 4 or 6. So we should have missed question 4 out. We're completely going to ignore question 6. You don't even need to go through it. I am, of course, then going to go back through my paper, check that I've answered the correct sections, check that I've answered all of the questions, especially those data questions, and make sure that you have actually answered what the question is asking you for. So if it's in urban issues, making sure that if it says LIC/NEEs, I have answered for Rio de Janeiro, or if it said HIC, you have spoken about London. There's another video on how to revise geography and the different resources that you can use. You can access these exam papers online. Just type in AQA GCSE Geography exam papers into Google. You'll be able to see them, print them off, practice them, plan out questions. As it says in the revision video, you have got exam questions in your book that you can use to help you practice from. And of course, if you want us at school to print you off any exam papers, we are more than happy to do that. And we are more than happy to go through them with you. Okay, so if you have a go at these questions, we absolutely will support you and give you some feedback on that. Anything you need at this point, please ask. Exam practice is a really good way to help consolidate that knowledge and apply it in the correct way. Because if you can't answer the exam questions correctly, then we're not going to be successful. Any questions? Come and see your geography teachers. We are more than happy to help. Thank you.